Hi guys, this is Marlon Nunez. First, glad to see that you have downloaded the material bundle. Uh, First things go first, so the most important is that you install it correctly. If you haven't installed it yet or you don't know how to install, make sure that you drop all the materials under cdata/material/startup. So next time you open Zbrush, you will be able to see all the materials. So right now I'm going just to demonstrate the material on top of one of the characters that I created more or less recently. So right now I just have the basic material. So if you open the material menu, you're going to see that you have different materials: matte caps, standard. We're going to forget about the matte caps because this material is based on the basic material, which means that all these standard materials, they get affected by light. So we can play with the light later on. This is very important eventually when you want to render your characters. The fact you can play with light and place it naturally. So we're going to grab the skin blend material. The first thing that you're going to notice is that the character has this creamy look. So the skin is going to look more realistic. And this for me was very important. The fact that already on the canvas I can see a good result. So I'm able to sculpt on top of the skin and still feel the skin. So we're going to open the material tab. We're going to see some modifiers. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the modifiers that I think that are most relevant. The first thing, as long as we are talking about the skin, we need to activate the wax modifier. By default, it comes by 0. Most of the time, maybe the changes are not noticeable. Right now, I'm just going to put the strength up to 80, so you're able to see it. So this is one of the biggest points here. You need to make sure that all the porosity, you get a little bit of wax preview. So I kind of find out that value about 15, I get still that wax feeling when my render comes. And also something very important, if you want to see your wax on the canvas while you're sculpting, you need to make sure that wax preview is activated, okay, under render. The next thing is about the temperature. If I set the wax very high, you can see that the wax might look a little bit different depending on the temperature. So I kind of figure out that a temperature around 40, it kind of gives me a better look. So again, I'm going to set up the strength back to 15. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the diffuse and specular curves. This is very important to get this initial look. So in terms of the diffuse, I just tweak it just very slightly. As you can tell, it's pretty much the default curve. I just give a little bit of bump here, so I can get a little bit. I'm pretty much removing a little bit of the ambient. And in terms of specularity, it's very important that you get this shiny curve. By default, you're going to get this kind of curve that is going to wash out all the character. So it's very important that you get this kind of peak curves to get all the roughness where it's supposed to be. The next two settings, and personally I think are the most important, is the anisotropic diffuse and anisotropic specular. The anisotropic diffuse is what is going to give the creamy look. By default, it comes by 0, and you can tell that a lot of the black and shadows and very hard shapes are way too strong. So by setting a little bit of anisotropic diffuse, I kind of wash out a little bit of those hard shadows. And I get that more natural look. Same happens with the specularity. It's not necessarily very noticeable. Right now I'm setting by 0, but I kind of figure out that 0.2 it can give me also a little bit of washout on the specular. As you can see, a little bit of changes here. So so a little bit of experimentation I kind of lead to these parameters. So these are the kind of parameters that you can play with. If you want to change the skin, make sure that you go through these parameters that I told you, and pretty much is going to affect very nicely to your character. And the last thing that you're going to notice is that I also implemented one texture. This texture is going to help also the specularity to look better. So you can take it out if you want. I personally really like it, so you can just leave it. So feel free to reply to this email and shoot a screenshot of the characters once you apply the skin material. We'll be very happy to see your work. Or upload your progress on Instagram, just hashtag our heroes, and we will give you a thumbs up. So now it's just all about open Zbrush and just keep practicing. Okay, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels and stay tuned for new content.